Most law enforcement agencies have access to public records databases to help locate and investigate suspects and other persons of interest. This information is stored in static databases like Accurate, TLOXP, or Clear, and they offer an overview of what a person's on-the-record record looks like. And they're typically limited to information obtained from North American public records databases and credit history records. But we live and work in a digital world, and as people around the globe live their lives, they create and leave behind other kinds of important information like email addresses, mobile phone accounts, and usernames. Most people share identity information on numerous websites, social media sites, and other online services. At Pipl, this is what we call the online identity blind spot, and we've made it our mission to make sure investigative teams have a tool that provides actionable insights for nearly 4 billion people around the globe. And because it's a dynamic global search engine and not a static database, and ties widely disparate identity fragments together over extended periods of time, it can expose valuable clues and investigative insights for a variety of scenarios that those other tools can't. Let's take a look. This first example will show what we mean when we say search with anything and find everything. Pipl Search makes it fast and easy to connect people to email addresses, mobile phone numbers, and social media accounts, even if the subject has taken measures to stay anonymous. For example, an investigator may want to find the person connected to this non-identifying email address that's suspected to be tied to illegal online drug sales. It's been used to solicit, confirm, and coordinate transactions with online buyers. Now we see that even though the person behind the email address has used obscure syntax and is hiding behind a proxy network, Pipl Search has connected the email address to enough information to build an online identity. So, is realrxfarm@facebook.com really Ivan Belkov? Let's take a look. Pipl's identity resolution engine has made the connection, and the email address used for the search is listed here. The system also shows this person has multiple email addresses. Some tie back to realrxfarm, while others appear more personal or somewhat disconcerting. But what this person didn't know was that by using these email addresses, social media accounts, and phone numbers to interact online over a period of time, they would all be linked together and connected to him with a near 100% degree of certainty. Here we see that Ivan Belkov in this profile also goes by Ivan Balkin. A lookup of Ivan Balkin shows a clear correlation with Ivan Belkov, but now look at these deeper insights. More images have been clustered, and as we go through the photo array, this profile shows 3 different faces. When we compare the location maps between Balkin and Belkov, again, there is a clear correlation, but Balkin has the larger geographic footprint. This shows a suspicious tendency for this person to use different names in different parts of the world, without knowing that it's all being connected in the background by people. A large amount of mobile phone numbers is often an indication of frequent SIM swapping, which is an elusive tactic, especially when so many SIM IDs code back to the same country. Notice how many of the numbers from the country code 7 have a pattern of popping up in the last year or so. Also notice that this person has phone accounts inside and outside of the US. There are connections to street addresses in New York, Illinois, and Latvia. So it's just taken minutes, but now we see a much clearer picture of a real person with a flashy lifestyle, using different names and faces in multiple locations with 18 phone numbers and 27 email addresses, and at least one that seems suspicious. And this was all found by entering an ambiguous, non-identifying email address that was linked to online drug sales. When we try to find out more about this person, we see they're back to using the last name of Balkin on their Facebook account. Here's a recent social media post about how they're involved with releasing and are promoting an app to help people alter their identities. A nice thing to know as the investigation continues. Other insights show that this person travels a lot and is often accompanied by a person named Julia. Here she is now, along with plenty of information that will allow our investigator to learn a lot more about one of Balkin's associates. If you're logged in with your own Facebook or other social media account and privacy settings allow, you'll see a history of check-ins and an array of photos to add to the advantages of using Pipl as compared to Accurate, TLOXP, or Clear databases. Another blind spot in public records databases is that they lack the context and perspective that adds a deeper dimension to your findings. In this case, the broader question might be, since the original email address is already known to be associated with online drug distribution, does the information about the person connected to that email address show a propensity or particular skill set needed to make it happen? The information we've reviewed begins to paint a picture of a suspicious character working very hard to appear legitimate on the surface, but never imagining that all of these fragments would one day appear on the same Pipl Search screen. The employment information links to a mixture of real and self-founded companies, and there are 2 connections to military service. Education and skills information also supports the case against him. Add this to the social post about the identity-altering app they promoted, and it follows that we're looking at a real suspect. Because of the way traditional public record search systems are built, they leave another blind spot when it comes to information that would be useful for finding or surveilling subjects as the investigation moves forward. Those systems only have location information that the subject would self-report in an official capacity, like for banking, driver's licenses, and other accounts that require identity verification. But with Pipl Search, you can see that investigators have more paths to pursue: locations, business activity, social life, and other people they're associated with. When an investigation involves a skip trace, it's invaluable to see connections to other people that have shared phones or locations. These can be used to pinpoint a subject's whereabouts or for collecting evidence. Pipl Search is not a database. It's the world's largest online identity index powered by modern and sophisticated identity resolution technology that opens more doors and crosses international borders that traditional public records databases can't. If you're already using Accurate, TLOXP, or Clear, you'll want to see the difference Pipl Online identity information makes in your investigations. To learn more about online identity information, visit pipl.com and schedule a meeting with an identity expert today.